Let's speak to our correspondent, Tom Canetti. Hello to you. Tom, Tigray region, notoriously difficult to get images, pictures, videos, and information out of. What's the latest you're hearing?
So tensions have been brewing for months now between the TPLF and the Ethiopian government forces. And it seems like those tensions have reached a tipping point. What the TPLF has confirmed today on Saturday is that these clashes erupted and are ongoing. They started at 6 a.m. and they have involved 3 battalions from the Ethiopian government forces, drones, and heavy artillery in the contested Western Tigray region. The TPLF is going to hold a press conference later today where we will hear more information. But this comes after mass mobilization of troops from both sides on the Tigrayan borders, the northern region of Ethiopia, and after inflammatory comments from the TPLF this week, which sparked concern of a renewed conflict there. Also, there was a mass media campaign this week by the Ethiopian state-run media, which also caused concerns that another war could kick off. After the last war, as you mentioned, between 2022 and 2020, killed more than 600,000 people, the US and the African Union have travelled to the Tigray region over the last weeks and months to try to mediate peace, but seemingly unsuccessfully.
And Tom, what do we know about the humanitarian situation in the ground? Have people been fleeing this latest fighting?
So one of the biggest escalation points was earlier this year when the transitional president of Tigray, who was appointed by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, was forcibly replaced by a more hardliner member of the TPLF. And after the entire Tigray region was excluded from the general elections this year, we saw forced recruitment, forced conscription occur in the region among young Tigrayan men. I spoke to eyewitnesses at the time who witnessed that, and we've seen a mass exodus of the Tigray region over fears that another war could take place. The TPLF has accused the Ethiopian government of imposing a blockade on the region for months, stopping the flow of cash, petrol, humanitarian aid, and stopping the payments of civil servants' salaries. They say that's because the Ethiopian government accuses the TPLF of creating an anti-Ethiopia alliance with Sudan and Eritrea, which is being labelled as the Simbo alliance. In July last month, I interviewed Getachew Reda, who was the former spokesperson of the TPLF during the Tigray War. He now works for and advises the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, and he said that the TPLF has breached the Pretoria Agreement, the agreement that he himself, Getachew Reda, signed in 2022, which, as you mentioned before, ended the hostilities between the TPLF and the Ethiopian government. There are also now reports that even other rebels in the region who fought against the TPLF have now sided, factions of those rebels have now sided with the TPLF to confront the Ethiopian army. They've said that they've been waiting for the rainy season to begin because the drones used by the Ethiopian government would be less effective in the rain. And perhaps, as you can see here, the rainy season has just begun. Neither sides, neither the TPLF or the Ethiopian army have claimed responsibility for starting these clashes this morning, Saturday morning, but these clashes are ongoing, and we have not yet heard from the Ethiopian government.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. Tom Canetti reporting there. That's a story we'll continue to follow here on Paris Direct.